Young cores in the NBA. When you think about them, teams that probably come to mind are the Memphis Grizzlies, Detroit Pistons, OKC Thunder, New Orleans Pelicans, etc. And these are all perfectly acceptable answers. But one team that I find consistently getting left out is the Indiana Pacers coming out of the East. Why people don't recognize them enough, only God knows. But today I'll be explaining to you why the Indiana Pacers are the most underrated young core in the entire NBA. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video and you want to see more NBA content around here. The Indiana Pacers have had some really good teams and players over the last decade, mainly with Paul George in the early 2010s, along with Victor Oladipo and Domantas Sabonis in 2018. But since then, they've been battling mediocrity, but last February at the trade deadline, they pulled off a fantastic trade where they acquired Tyrese Haliburton and Buddy Hield for Domantas Sabonis and Jeremy Lamb, among other things. This trade firmly set the Pacers into rebuild mode with a young franchise player in Tyrese Haliburton. Haliburton is one of my favorite young players in the NBA and is a firm reason why the Pacers have one of the most underrated young cores in the NBA. In Sacramento, he was drafted into a weird situation where De'Aaron Fox was the franchise player and their point guard, so Haliburton was forced to play somewhat out of position where he'd have to play shooting guard. On top of that, they drafted another point guard in the 2021 draft in Davion Mitchell. But despite all of this, Haliburton was still able to shine really brightly. In a season and a half with the Kings, Tyrese was able to average 14 points and 6 assists on ridiculous shooting splits as a rookie and as a guard in general. And in half a season in Indiana after he was traded, he was able to bump up his scoring to 18 points a game and average 10 assists in a primary ball handler role as a point guard in his natural position. He's an incredible passer, fantastic off the dribble shooter, and also a great defender. This is a rare combo to see in a young NBA player. Haliburton was also able to do all of this in less than half a season getting acclimated with the Pacers system. With his first off-season under his belt with the Pacers and training camp with the Pacers, Haliburton firmly puts himself in the conversation for most improved player next season. Along with the fact that they've now traded Malcolm Brogdon, the backcourt is firmly in Haliburton's hands. Although Haliburton is the star piece in the Pacers' young core, the Pacers have plenty of other assets throughout the roster. The Pacers have a slew of young guards on the roster with tons of potential, starting with rookie wing Benedict Mathurin, who was drafted 6th overall and looks to be a perfect fit besides Haliburton in the backcourt. Someone who's very capable as a shooter coming off screens and as a lob threat on backdoors. This is someone that Haliburton will be looking to feed all the time. Chris Duarte as well is another wing coming off an all-rookie second-team season last year who plays like someone who's been in the league for years. Well, it's because he's 25 years old, but he still fits in well with the Pacers' timeline and provides more shooting and defense for them and off-the-dribble upside. The Pacers also have Aaron Nesmith, who they acquired in the Malcolm Brogdon trade to Boston, who's still young and is a former first-round draft pick. They also drafted Andrew Nembhard out of Gonzaga with the 31st pick. Nembhard is a calm pass-first point guard who surely will come in and impact in the NBA right away, along with Kendall Brown and Hugo Besson, who were drafted this year as well. It's safe to say the Pacers have a healthy number of young, talented guards. But what about the bigs? The Pacers happen to also have a good lineup of young bigs who are also supremely talented, and it starts with Miles Turner. Turner's been around for so long, it's hard to forget he's still only 26 years old. Although Turner is largely the same player he's been since he entered the league, this player is still a really good one. A former leader in blocks in the league, someone who can stretch the floor moderately well from 3 as a big, is still extremely valuable, and the Pacers have someone who can complement Turner really well if he doesn't leave, and that's Isaiah Jackson. Jackson really didn't get many minutes for the Pacers early on in the season, but in the second half of the season, he looked really good. Jackson is someone who's extremely athletic with a long, wiry frame, and in only 15 minutes last season, he averaged 8 points, 4 rebounds, and almost 1.5 blocks a game. And he's shown the ability to shoot the ball a bit from 3 as well. He's a perfect contrast to Turner because he attacks the rim with ferocity, While Turner can step out in space from 3, Jackson also is the perfect pick and roll partner with Tyrese, who I'm sure they'll have plenty of highlight lobs to this season, as they did last season. The Pacers also have Jalen Smith, who looked really good last season. They picked him up for almost nothing in a trade with the Suns where they gave away Aaron Holiday. Smith, a former 10th overall pick, could share the front court with Jackson if Turner leaves and form a real strong partnership. Goga Bitadze is another lottery pick who is still young and has shown potential. So, the Pacers undoubtedly have a ton of young talent across the board, but they really lack in one area, and that's at the small forward position. The Pacers have tons of shooting guards, as mentioned before, but they don't have many true small forwards. Mathurin or Duarte will most likely play the small forward next season, but getting some true small forwards is something that should be addressed for the Pacers. The only quality small forward guy who's really a true small forward on the roster is O'Shea Brissett, who's solid, but that's really the only weakness in the young core. The Pacers look really good. A starting lineup next year of Haliburton, Duarte, Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, and Turner is really solid, and they could easily challenge for a play-in spot this upcoming season. The new generation of teams in the East is starting to show. The Cavs, Magic, Pistons, Hornets, and Hawks all look really good, but people fail to understand or just forget about the Pacers. And with all the young talent and youth on the roster, that's why the Indiana Pacers have undoubtedly the most underrated young core in the NBA. If you guys enjoyed this video, you can check out my latest video right here, the most overrated player at every position in the NBA. Like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and as always, stay rested. See you in the next one.